This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy. Just drop in some details about yourself and see if you're eligible to save money when you bundle your home and auto policies. The process only takes minutes, and it could mean hundreds more in your pocket. Visit Progressive.com after this episode to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
Now, back to the interview from a few minutes ago with Barnes, Leslie, and Jimmy. The best of the Morning X. 99X.
Quentin Tarantino is on the Morning X with Barnes, Leslie, and Jimmy. What are some of the other revenge movies that you love?
Well, I'll tell you my two favorite revenge. Well, I'll tell you my three favorite revenge movies. All right, my favorite one, for sure, hands down, is a movie called Rolling Thunder with William Devane and Tommy Lee Jones. It was written by Paul Schrader, the guy who wrote A Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
And that is a fantastic movie.
Okay.
Just great. It's about a POW it was in the Viet Cong POW camp for 7 years, and when he's released, these scumbags in Texas kill his wife and kid, and so he tracks them all down to kill him. And
I saw this movie. This was great.
This movie kicks butt.
Yes.
All right. Another great revenge movie would be the Pam Grier movie Coffee.
Right.
Fantastic. My favorite blaxploitation movie. My favorite female revenge movie. And then my third favorite revenge movie would probably be it's one of the roughest movies I've ever seen, if not maybe the roughest movie, and actually still be a movie.
Right.
Is the Swedish movie. It's another female revenge movie. It's called the Swedish title was called Thriller.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Thriller, and then the subtitle is A Cruel Picture. All right, but in America, they cut out some of the violence and released it in drive-ins in the 70s, and the movie was called They Call Her One Eye. And it's all about a woman who's like shanghaied into prostitution. She tries to leave. They poke out her eye. They hook her on drugs and make her a prostitute. And so what happens is there's nothing she can do about that now. But she's a junkie, so they let her go to do her life as she's a prostitute. But meanwhile, she takes all the money she makes and learns to shoot, learns to do hand-to-hand combat, learns to do defensive driving, and then after a year of learning all this, she kills all the people that she works for. And
Fantastic.
It's a lot of fun, but man, it is a brutal movie.
Uh-huh.
We're talking to Quentin Tarantino. You have a way of resurrecting certain actors' careers. Did you handpick all the people in Kill Bill?
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I think that's if there's a talent that I have, I think one of my talents is casting. I think I'm a really good. I match good actors up with the right roles.
Definitely, because we love Uma Thurman.
Isn't she terrific in the film?
She's phenomenal, and I guess that she trained for a long time for this.
Oh man, yeah, and also she had just had a baby too. So it was like after like about 8 weeks of coming down from having her second kid, she went right into training, and she trained literally 8 hours a day for 3 months.
Are you good with criticism? I read in this week's Time magazine you are doing an interview with David Ansen, and he actually tells you face to face in this interview what he doesn't like about your movie.
Right.
Is that comfortable for you?
Well, it was an interesting thing because I've always respected David Ansen as a film critic, quite a bit actually, and we know each other a little bit. And Newsweek wanted to do this whole thing where they wanted to have him like review and also interview the director at the same time.
Newsweek,
and
right?
He was interested in doing it, but he said, finding the right director to do it with and finding the right movie to do it with was going to be really hard. And but he trusted me because he knows I'm a big film fan, and he knows that if I wasn't a filmmaker, I'd probably be a film critic.
Yeah.
So it's like I can talk to him, and he liked the movie well enough. So it's like not like he's going to say anything that's going to completely offend me.
Congratulations on having the #1 movie in the country. Tell us about Part 2.
One of the things about Part 2 is actually quite different from Part 1. The two movies have two different tones. If you saw the film, or you're going to see it, Part 1 has a very straight ahead. Uma Thurman's character, the bride who's after revenge, she goes straight ahead like a shark, through the whole movie. Mm-hmm. Part 2, as she works her way down to the last 3 names on her death list, things get much more complicated. It's not quite the slice and dice that the first one is. More humanity comes into play, and all of a sudden, it's not quite the same same mission that she was on. I mean, she still wants revenge, but real life tends to intrude in the whole process.
Quentin Tarantino
Thanks, Quentin.
on the Morning X.
This is a mini meditation guided by Bombas. Repeat after me. I'm comfy. I'm cozy. I have 0 blisters on my toes. And that's because I wear Bombas, the softest socks, underwear, and t-shirts that give back. One purchased equals one donated. Now go to bombas.com/listen and use code LISTEN for 20% off your first purchase. That's BOMBAS.com/listen and use code LISTEN at checkout.